Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1006. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today, it is the return of the much-loved feature here at the last place on Earth called The Bottom of the Charts. We'll look at what's languishing down at the bottom of the charts. We'll look at the bottom five. And we'll also hear from
Mike's Daily Podcast,
Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley, because they're cool guys.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I heard the news today, oh boy, and I didn't like it. I lost an inspirational artistic force in music. That would be Bowie, and yes, he's labeled classic, but he represented what could happen if you didn't listen to what everybody thinks is what is the music the masses like.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
His Let's Dance and Fame will be played until the end of time.
Mike's
Not to mention Modern Love.
Daily
Heroes.
Podcast.
Changes.
Yeah!
Young Americans. We were the Young Americans. Ziggy Stardust, Space Oddity, his first big one, Ground Control to Major Tom. China Girl, Golden Years, all the collaborations he did. Pat Metheny, etc. I mentioned that a little bit later on with Haley. We have the Daily Haley coming up later on the show. And Haley has a very different view than I do about Bowie. We'll see what Haley has to say. Remember, David Bowie was also an actor. He played Tesla in the movie The Prestige. He did that one, the alien that fell to Earth. Oh my gosh, the man who ruled face to face with the man who ruled the world. The one that Kurt Cobain later did. Yeah, David Bowie wrote that. He wrote all the young dudes for the Mott the Hoople. He did an amazing performance at Live Aid that I'll never forget. I loved that, which featured Blinding Me with Science, Thomas Dolby on keyboards. And he made the best albums ever. The worst David Bowie album is still light years better than anybody else's. Honestly, he's fantastic. I can't say enough about him. I'm going to be one of those people that really likes the David Bowie. Last show, I was praising Rush. This show, it's all about Bowie because he deserves it, and I'm shocked that he left us at 69. I had no idea he had cancer. It's terrible. In other news, Apple has come up with emotion detection technology. They're buying a company that has developed this, so we'll see where that goes. Oh, look, who just walked in. Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega, and I detect your emotion today is confused. Yeah, I'm confused. Just always bewildered. Is what I am doing this podcast. That's wonderful. Yes, a little bit of confusion is good, I guess. Then there is this thing called unemployment. Apparently, did you know in the United States right now, the unemployment rate is practically, it's as close to zero, experts say, that you can get. There's always going to be a certain level of unemployment because they're just people that don't stick with the same job very long, and they move in and out of jobs, and that fiddles with the unemployment rate. So wow, what a time. Kudos to the Obama administration for that. I know it's unpopular to say anything in praising the Obama administration these days, but I'm doing it. That's quite an achievement. Nobody, when Clinton got us into got the deficit to zero and got us actually into a surplus, which we have not been at since Clinton. Nobody ever said anything. Way to go, Clinton, for that. It's everybody dump on the Democratic president. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I keep referring to Chris Christie as George Christie. Why do I do that?
I'm not sure. George Christie was the head of the Hells Angels in Ventura when I lived in Ventura.
Yeah, that might be why that's happening there. But Chris Christie's way better than Obama. and so that he should take his job once he's out.
Yeah, get him out. Do you know that? Well, we enjoyed your segment, Do You Know That, yesterday. We learned about Alanis Morissette, Bison, and about Jenna Coleman's class from Doctor Who taking over a spin-off of Doctor Who. And that they're making Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency into a TV show, which they did before, but this should be an interesting reboot. Yeah, okay, whatever. What? Do you know that? I didn't know that. Yeah, so now we got a bunch of stuff to get to. I just want to mention that, in fact, there's a great website called Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. If you love this show and you want to read my blog and check out pictures, the podcast pictures, and check out past interviews that I've done with all kinds of great musicians and bands, all that is there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. And you can help us out, too. There's an Amazon link. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, click on that link. That will take you to Amazon. But if you buy anything through Amazon, that helps us out if you go through that link first at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. If you want to help us out through PayPal and become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster, that's there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. And a link to all the places you can find this show. We're all over the internet at all kinds of different places on iTunes. Of course, we've got a Facebook, a Twitter, a Tumblr. All those places you can find at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. And now, the return of the bottom of the charts, which we have not done in a long time because Jimmy Fallon. Once I started the bottom of the charts back, 3 years ago, when Jimmy Fallon took over The Tonight Show, he started doing something called the bottom of the charts, only he comes up with songs that don't exist, that are at the bottom of the charts, that are really bad spoofs of popular songs. But I'm going to play you actual songs, or little bits of them anyway, so that YouTube doesn't ding me. So here we go with the latest bottom of the charts, of course, getting some help here from Billboard.
Oh my gosh!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good goddamn songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, where'd that come from?
Alrighty, here we go. The bottom of the charts. I don't know if I'm going to do this ever again. It takes me for freaking ever to do this. So here we go. The bottom 5 songs of the charts right now. What's going on? Let's see. Number 96, as we work our way to 100, is Fetty Wap, My Way, featuring Monty.
Hey, baby, this is something you should know. I don't ever chase no hoes. Spotted you had that girl.
Alrighty. At number 97 is Cole Swindle. We went from hip-hop to country. Here's You Should Be Here. The video features a farm.
It's perfect outside. It's like God let me dial up the weather.
Okay.
Got the whole crew here. I ain't seen someone.
He's using a drum track from 1980s.
One of those never forget it.
With the
take it in kind of scene.
Or was it chorus?
Standing with your arm around me.
Oh, you should be here.
Up, cracking a cold beer.
Cracking a cold beer.
Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year.
Oh, he kind of looks like a really young Tim McGraw. Alrighty, then we have Randy Houser, another country artist. That's at number 98 with We Went.
When you're doing the things that you do, wanna get this sleepy poor run town.
Oh wow, this girl is hot in the video. Kind of has a southwestern hot black hair look. Oh, but he's got his little band going. They're on top of a mountain that looks somewhere in Southern California. All right, let's hear it for California Cowboys. And speaking of more country music, at number 99, it is Confessional by Florida Georgia Line. Another church. A bunch of TV sets fluttering and a mullet. In 2016, I'm seeing mullets and tube TVs flickering. Confession is that one. Alrighty. And here we are at number 100. Drum roll, please. This is, here we go. Okay. Play No Games. Big Sean. With Chris Brown
put on speakerphone just so you could
and Ty Dolla $ign.
Like he the one. Yeah. I know I'm young, but you respect me like a father figure.
All right.
Young mob is probably make your father.
There's bad words and stuff in that one. All right. And that's the number 100 bottom of the charts. Way to go. What an honor.
The almost daily Haley.
Welcome to Radio Announcer Haley Hour. This is not going to be an hour. I'm frantically waiting for a call right now. A call or a text or something to see if I have to actually go and do work or not before 7 a.m. because it's before 7 a.m.
Yeah, that's where we are right now. On Monday morning, the news just came out about David Bowie. We are bummed.
Dun dun dun. I'm sort of bummed. I liked his music, but he hadn't actually been producing anything recently.
He just came out with an album on his 69th birthday called Black Star.
Yeah, but it sucks. No one cares about it.
You haven't even heard it. No, and then he had an album like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, he was a big point in musical history, but I'm not super.
I just think 69's too young.
No, it's the perfect age.
No, I disagree. Mm-hmm. He should have lived into his 90s at least, or 109. Because he's such an influence, and pop music needs that guy.
No, pop music doesn't need David Bowie. That's the thing. Pop music had David Bowie. David Bowie had run his course. He's done.
No!
His music that he made in his heyday was not done.
I so disagree with you. The problem with pop music is that David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, he said, I'm going to be a character. I'm going to be Ziggy Stardust.
Right.
Then he goes, I'm done with this character. I'm going to be the White Duke. Then I'm done with that character. I'm going to be this.
Yeah.
And people today, if you tried to pull that you would have... Which Kanye West has tried to do, and others, Garth Brooks tried to do. People go,
Garth Brooks tried to do that, really?
Yeah, he was, they'll come to me in a second. But, people go, I don't understand what's going on. Why is he doing that? They cannot follow creativity. And David Bowie was unabashedly creative.
Kanye West, actually, I hope people appreciated his creativity when he did, his, Yeezus album and such. That was good. There was so many good, fresh sounds and ideas in that album, and it got a lot of buzz. People are appreciating that. It's just that what hits the radio is a lot different than the music that's actively being produced artistically. And you have a lot of people that do listen to good artistic bands or bands that are actively trying to make good music. It's just if you only listen to the radio works as they take the most catchy songs and they play them until you like them. That's all. That's what it is. And there are artists that are producing albums that are specifically for you'd listen until you like it. Miley Cyrus, The Weeknd, and they have variable listenability outside of the radio. A lot of people like The Weeknd a lot more off the radio than on the radio because he has some okay stuff, but
I just can't myself when I'm with you.
Right.
And I like it.
You just gotta keep exploring. Never give up, your musical exploration spark.
Right.
Every day, Robin Schultz has great, beautiful remixes, because he works at it, he goes for the mood, and if you listen to the songs that he bases them off of, there was, the two big hits he had was his remix of Waves, and his remix of
I love that band.
Well, it's Lilywood and the Prick. The song is I don't remember, but
Chris Gaines
but
was
what
Garth Brooks was trying to be.
That's weird. I don't know who that is.
Chris Gaines. Yeah, look it up. It was a bizarre little detour he took. Yeah,
but the point is, stuff is happening in music. Music is moving. Music is constantly recreating itself in ways that, if you are dwelling on the David Bowies and the Who's and all the concept album artists of the past, you're gonna miss the way that it's transforming itself nowadays.
Yeah, but don't slam the door on David Bowie. That's ridiculous.
I'm not slamming the door on David Bowie's
all
heyday.
the people that he worked with John Lennon, worked with Elton John, worked with Morrissey, worked with Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor, Mick Jagger. The list goes on and on of the people he worked with. And I was just listening over the weekend to Iggy Pop, who they worked on and wrote like Let's Dance and China Girl. Iggy Pop had a song, I'm a real wild one. And it got played in the 80s. And I'm like, oh my God, that's David Bowie singing with him on that. He was just everywhere.
Yeah.
So what I'm just saying is that David Bowie, with his concept albums and just the things that he used to do, I think that is such a perfect place that artists should live in that area. And some people forget about that area. You know what I mean? Like they go and they are like, well, I don't know why I'm making music. Oh, yeah, to make money. Okay. And they lose that cool artistic side.
There's a lot of record albums that limit that artistic side as well, and that's been happening since David Bowie's time. Looking Glass, the people that did Brandy. Brandy is like a flawless song. It's one of my favorites. But they were not a very good band otherwise because they were trying to fit into this little blues rock niche that was already taken, mind you, that their record label and their producer were saying, we're going to get you to be this kind of band, and it just didn't work out. They just sucked at it. They were just not good at performing and writing that kind of music. Brandy, you're a fine girl.
So Looking Glass's wealth of material is not very good?
And never, pretty much, yeah.
I'll have to listen.
Yeah, Brandy's a really good song. The rest of their songs are very, very mundane. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But David Bowie decided to be strange, and he fought to make his own music, you know? And that's something a lot of artists that day, I don't feel, have that privilege of doing. If they want to be making money, it's a lot more cutthroat. There's so many more bands, and it's so much easier to pick up a guitar or pick up some instruments, start making your own music, and fail. Even if you get heard and maintain a mediocre success. And it's a lot easier to maintain mediocre success with the internet and everything nowadays. But if you get picked up by a record label, it's because they feel that they can exploit you. Otherwise, they'll just leave you on your indie label, and you can do whatever you want. And that goes back to making sure that you never give up exploring new music. Because if the record labels and the big companies who provide music to you are only picking up the exploitable albums, then everything else that is what you want, is that niche that people... that bubble where they're exploring and trying to reinvent themselves is far outside of what is just being provided to you.
So, that's cool. That was profound, Haley.
I have a lot to say.
Okay. So then... I just remember David Bowie worked with Pat Metheny, too, who's a fusion guitarist. He worked with all kinds of people.
I'm not denying that he did.
The Beatles! He worked with some Beatles, too, right?
Yeah,
we mentioned John Lennon.
You mentioned John Lennon. I'm not denying in his heyday he was a wonderful musician, and he did so many things in the avenues and areas of music exploration. I'm just saying that those days, they're great to listen to, and it's great to hear how people are still taking on David Bowie's influence. I'm not bothered by celebrity deaths anymore. I'm just not. Like, it really doesn't matter.
So young, though. I really think that's...
See, I'm 21. 69 to me is not that young.
Yeah.
My grandfather died in his early 80s. That's not... My aunt died in her, I want to say her 40s.
Yeah, but that's another 20 years. I mean, he could have lived into his 80s.
My aunt died from cancer when she was like 40. 45 or something.
No. Yeah. Well, when you're in your 20s, you have no concept of age.
It's true. I mean, I won't deny that, but...
I could not... I remember it was nuts.
Like, people older than me grew up with celebrities making themselves. People my age grew up with celebrities dying. Because all these celebrities there's been more and more celebrities as, media gets more concentrated and more things are being produced. So all the celebrities that were constantly making themselves, all the first wave and second wave celebrities are dying,
So do you think that people should wear a little rock in the middle of their palm, and when they turn 32 or 33, it goes off and then they have to be shot, or they have to Logan's Run?
No.
Science fiction. Well, very good. That's very interesting. Tell us what you think. Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com.
I just brought some controversy probably into the show. I'm fine with it.
I wonder if a lot of 20-somethings agree with you.
I don't think so. Any 20-something, I have unique views. Any 20-something, or a lot of 20-somethings who have appreciation for the music of David Bowie era and such, tend to exalt him to like a god/goddess position.